Hello, everyone. Welcome to this. It is City Heroes Sunday community gameplay time. And if you want to join me, I am on Rebirth. You can message me in game, you can message me through YouTube, or you can join the Discord, link down in the description. If you join me on Discord, you can talk or not. You will be heard live on the stream if you do join me on Discord. But let's go ahead and get things going. Done that. Let's missions, contact. Do this Atlas Park one. Work our way. North. That direction. Work our way over there. There's the train. Turn on. Got turned off because I accidentally excuse me, had to overdo my teleportation, so it turned off a couple of my toggles, one of them being the what was it, the ninja run. Push ran by characters. Okay, so run over here. Oh, that's right. Gotta do the delivery. Brand new. Go through this door over here. Hey, Tyler, how's it going? By the way, Tyler, the video today that came out for City Heroes is a bit different. It is talking about what your main archetype that you play in City Heroes says about you. So check that out. Let me know what you think. Another return to contact. Okay. Oh. I have to go back to Talos. I think I can do it through. I haven't gone to Sturgis Isles that much, so I gotta figure out my way there. This. Upward to here. I think I'm gonna have to do this. Done that. Bunch of traveling around, but you know, that's half the fun that I like about City Heroes is how big the zones can be and the different sizes the zones are, because you have things like, you know, Ellis Island, which I'm on right now, is pretty small, but you look at something like Independence Port or Steel Canyons and the zones are big, and the fact that there's hazard zones is really nice. I enjoy that. So it's the variety of the size of zones I enjoy. And the other thing I really like is the randomly generated what is it? Maps. This is Paragon Island. Paragon Sturgis. Let's see. Map. Using the scroll wheel to try to zoom in on the map. That was a dumb move. Did it again. The smuggler's tank. Let's choose a different move. I don't remember how to get there. Go there that. So we're in Talos Island. Let's just do this one. That way we got teleport our way over there. Get some action going. Maybe. Better not be it. Talk to this person. Excellent. It's actually going to take us into a mission. Turn off Ninja Run. Still have the issue with this side. This door. Open it up. I hear some action outside. Knocked him down a lot, that's good. Got him down. Got him. Guy over here. I'm gonna wait for some endurance. The family can be a bit hard. If you have resistance to like knockdowns and stuff like that, and knockbacks, it's a lot easier. I can take on. Change my energy here. Got him. Okay, got that done. That took almost all our energy, and we had to be very, very, very careful. Oh, man. Okay, so that's done. They got it here. Okay. Get... Hey Axel, how's it going? Oh, my ninja run again. Went to hit shift to do a sprint. I've been playing too much Stars Reach. New update for it's just so fun. Can down to here. I want to do some parkouring. Oh, overjumped. That was bad jump control is what that is. It could be better. I've felt some of the effects, and it's not fun because, well, because I'm on disability, I'm supposed to get Medicaid, Medicare, and I got signed up for everything. You know, renewal time normally happens around December and stuff like that. Got set up with everything. Go to see my doctor a couple weeks ago, and they're like, "Oh, you're not covered." I'm like, what? Excuse me? So I see my doctor and I said, don't worry, I'll take care of it, I'll handle it. And I end up talking to my rep who helped me sign up for everything and tell me about the different plans and stuff like that. And he takes a look at things and he's like, huh, they took you off of it. I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I had to re-sign up with a different plan than what I originally had chosen, because it was the only plan left. And I'm just like, that's not right. And so I'm dealing with the pains of that. But other than that, everything else is going good. That off? Oops, if I hit the right key. Oh, there's not an engineer in that group. Okay, great. I only pulled him. There's the engineer. That's the one I want. Yeah, well, I'm working on getting myself out of Social Security. So the thing is here in America, the people that own the businesses, they want you sitting at a desk when you're doing a desk job, you know, a computer job or anything like that. If you're laying in bed and you have a laptop on your lap and you're doing the work and you're doing it quickly, they don't care. They want you in a desk. They want a camera on you and to be able to see your computer screen the entire time. They want you preferably in the office all the time instead of working from home, even though you could easily do the job from home. And so that, because I can only sit or stand for a couple hours due to my disability, that doesn't work. I've tried it, and after like 3 months, I can't even get myself out of the desk. I can't lift, my legs won't lift me up anymore because there's so much nerve pain being done. And so when I got on disability, my thinking is, okay, well, let me run this YouTube channel. Let me run the print on demand, which, by the way, the link down in the description. If you want t-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, things like that, all centered around either the channel, City of Heroes, or gaming in general, whether it's tabletop role-playing games, video games, whatever, that stuff's there. I'm gonna run that, plus make a work on making a video game. Try to get those to bring in some money. Now, thanks to you guys, I do once every month or every 2 months, I get a small little check from YouTube, anywhere around $100 to $200. It's not much to live on, but it's a little something to help me out. And the plan is to basically grow a business mainly in game development so that I can get off of disability. And the big dream is to make so much money that I can hire other people who have the skills in game development, preferably that are disabled and on disability, to help them get off disability. Because a majority of people don't want to just get money for free. They want to do some kind of job to keep them active. It's just part of human nature, and I'm the same way. And that's the reason why I do this YouTube stuff. I make the YouTube videos. I make the print-on-demand designs and work on the video games. I want to keep myself active and doing something. So it all sort of helps out. And basically, a good chunk of the money that comes from the YouTube channel goes back into game development. And it allows me to buy things I need. You know, whether it's software or hardware and stuff like that. The first chunk of it was going back into the channel, allowed me to get the Stream Deck that I'm using, and it allowed me to get some other things added on, and sort of helps pay off the cost of the print-on-demand store that I have. Because I'm paying about $40 a month for my Shopify store, which is what I'm using, and stuff like that. And I only see about a sale once a year or so. I was doing international stuff, but with the tariff costs and things like that, I'm having to sort of change things up on how I'm doing things. And so right now, I'm only selling to the US. I'm looking at trying to figure out a way to set it up where I can sell in other countries that'd be easiest and stuff like that, because I know I have a bunch of people from like the Netherlands and areas like that that I want to sell to, but I want to make sure that the shipping costs won't be insane. Goddamn. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's always good to see new people coming into the game. And I'd like to see more content creators in City of Heroes. I know there's like JC. He does sort of the casual City of Heroes stuff, mainly on sort of talking about his characters, talking about basic builds that he's done, and doing live streams, a lot of live streams. And I've actually talked to him, and he's a good guy. He's been on the channel before. I've been on his channel, and we've done a little bit of collaborating that way. But it's nice to hear that there's someone new sort of popping up that way. Yeah, well, I don't think a single anyone who's smart is not happy with what the U.S. president is doing with tariffs. It's the stupidest thing in the world. And here's the thing. He's not even supposed to be able, by law, he's not supposed to be able to do anything tariff-wise unless it's an emergency. He's coming up with these fake emergencies to impose these tariffs. The tariffs are supposed to be held by Congress, just like the whole entire thing going on with Iran. He's not supposed to have control to say, okay, let's attack Iran. Congress has to make that decision. Now, he has the power that if a country attacks us, he can immediately respond back and make a statement, okay, we're responding back, and that's his right as president. But he doesn't have all this control that he says he has. He's manipulating the system, and because his side isn't willing to stand up against him and saying, no, you can't do that, or that's wrong, they bow down to him. And I don't care what political party you're in, you shouldn't bow down to one person. It's not the way our government is set up. It's not the way it's supposed to work. And it worries me because I'm seeing a lot of corporations coming in and taking effect and doing things and stuff like that. And that worries me that we're turning into sort of like a cyberpunk or Shadowrun type era where corporations run everything here in the US. Close enough. There we go. There's enough. We're gonna wait and get some endurance back. That emergency act, I haven't heard of. I know he's been throwing out a bunch of different things, and I think the reason why the U.S. president is throwing out and doing all these weird radical things is to keep the news media and the news about him constantly changing. And I think the reason being is the whole entire Epstein files. Because there are photos and he's in the emails of the Epstein files, he's not wanting to be noticed for that. So he's trying to push the narrative into different direction. And in all honesty, anyone who's in the Epstein files needs to be looked at. Every single one of them. Because what Epstein did is just terrible on so many levels and wrong. And so I think that's what's happening there. Well, see, and that's the thing. I like what the other European countries have done. Where princes, England, did things, took down one of their princes. Other countries took down their royalty and their politicians and stuff like that, and their big businessmen, and went after them. What are we doing here in the U.S. on that front? Nothing. Zilch. Nada. And I think that's wrong. Oh, wait. Down there. Okay. Raider, he's swimming. Let's warm him up some. That water's gotta be cold. Actually gonna jump over to him. Oops, over jump. Got that one. Looks like I got the boss guy over there. Oh, you can't find a pair. Okay, are you in Euclid? Are you in the Euclid galaxy? Knocked him down just as he got to me. Nice. Okay, got that. Yeah, and that's understandable. I mean, I changed plants when they came out with the floating floating island in No Man's Sky. I spent months looking for a paradise island or a paradise plant with floating islands that looked really good that I could build on. And if you look at my No Man's Sky videos, I think I give the portal glyphs to it. If not, if you want to be on that planet, I'm more than happy to have people join. I know Dred's built there, Mama T's built there. Who else? Atlas Galactus is built there. And things like that. I can share the portal glyphs with you after the stream. Because it is a paradise planet. Yeah, see, and that's the great thing. I was running into the same problem you did with a bunch of aggressive sentinels or high sentinel population. This paradise planet has no aggressive sentinels, no high sentinel population, and in this solar system there's not one paradise planet, there are 2 paradise planets. I go fault line. Actually, that. Land here. Map. There's some. Well, it depends on the player. Me, I sort of lightly half memorize stuff. I mean, back in the day when I was playing it non-stop constantly, I had everything memorized like the back of my hand. Need Skyway City, if I'm correct. Skyway City. Fault line, yep. So we need Skyway City South. City South. It's a saying. It's a saying. It's a saying here in the US. That new freckle on the back of my hand. I mean... You'd be surprised. I don't know what every person from every different country, you know, what sayings they know and don't know. I don't know what sayings have become universal, what sayings are just to certain regions or certain countries or certain regions of a country and stuff like that. So I think if anyone could memorize all that, their head would explode. Yeah. See, like that statement, it's not running like a train. I've never heard that statement before. Was this the one where I get to walk by them nonchalantly till I run across the boss? Why do I have 3 break frees? I don't need 3 break. Give myself. Oh, that makes sense. There we go. He's just gonna run off. think that. That's a good one. Everything has it, and just the sausage has two. Okay, I did get both of them. Hearing a glowing nearby. Ah, down there, okay. Disable this one. I'm just finding these guys because I want the extra XP. Yeah, firefight with someone who literally shoots fire. No one over there. Oh, let's hold off. I just saw my endurance. Oh man. Just spying on my endurance, or there's so many times I ignore my endurance or ignore my health. I mean, when I did the whole entire thing on what your archetype says about you, when I brought up the point about how you ignore your health as a blaster, it's just a rumor. That's because that's what I did when I first played City of Heroes. My main was a blaster, and I would just go in, hope I could take them out before they took me out. If I died, I'd just respawn. I saw XP debt as a badge of honor, and then when City of Villains came out and I played a mastermind, I learned macros, keybinds. I kept an eye on my pet's health more than I kept an eye on my health and stuff like that. And so that's how I just sort of wrote everything up. Well, see, that's a good balance. You're just getting out of endurance at the end of it. That's good. Where if you just have it set to 1, you probably still have a good chunk of endurance, if not full endurance at the end of it. You want something. I like games that are a challenge. I don't play games just for simple, easy entertainment. I want to be challenged. I want to think things through. sledgehammer, that's how you do it. Yeah, I do need, I should probably put some accuracy. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I want to focus on this. Do I want to focus on damage with this character, or do I want to focus on accuracy with this character? Here's the funny thing. When I was, in the early days of City of Heroes, and I was playing, I had a friend that played a firefighter tanker, and that's literally what he loved doing. And he was like, oh, your electric blaster can't do what I can do. I can take, on 20, 30 guys all at once. And stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I can do that. No, blasters can't do that. I'm like, yeah, they can. You just have to know how to do the build. You have to set things up correctly. And I have a funner time doing it because if I don't use my powers the right way, I'm toast quickly. Whereas a firefighter tanker doesn't have to worry about that. They just have to worry, are all my toggles up? And that's it. And so I showed him what short circuit power sync does, which drains all the endurance out of the enemy. So I gathered up like 20, 25 guys around me, and I did my power sync short circuit thing. And they're all standing there like idiots looking at me as I'm just beating them up. And then when power sync and short circuit came back up, throw those out again, so I kept them out of endurance the entire time. My friend was just like, that's not fair. I was like, hey, not my fault that I actually looked into the powers and got a little bit more creative than just like, ooh, fire can just stand there and take a beating. There we go. I missed. I was hoping to be able to say, no, you don't. You don't get to heal. But no, I missed on the big melee hit. Get endurance up a bit more. Yeah, and that's what scrappers and tanks are good for. I mean, it really depends on your personal playstyles. Sometimes I like playing the blaster and being very careful and strategic. Other times I like playing a tank or a brute and just absorb damage along with a scrapper if I want to be a bit more on the offensive side. Sometimes I like being sneaky and I want to play my stalker. Other times I want to manage the attacks, and so I'll play like a controller or dominator or a mastermind, depending on whether I want to hold them in place and just do my thing peacefully, or if I want to have complete chaos and have a bunch of pets running around doing the damage and managing them. It all depends on what you want to do, and that's the reason why I have an alt problem in City of Heroes, is because of that. But the other thing is I'm constantly coming up with new costume ideas. I'm constantly coming up with new character build ideas. I mean, yeah, you're sort of limited on your power sets. But what makes City of Heroes is unique is you can have one fire blast. You can have 2 fire blasters, and they, or no, let's go with dark blast. You can have 2 dark blasters, and one can be slotted for damage. Another could be slotted for to hit debuffs, and then you can have a third one that's slotted for nothing but accuracy, and all 3 of them play in different ways. Power too late. There we go. He's down now. Let's check these top decks real quick. Looks like we got them all. I'm gonna go ahead and exit. Oh, we got an anthem. Ooh. Putting that in. Where's that again? Best. I think I'll put that here. Goes there. Use that, can't use that, and can't use that. Okay. There we go. But as you saw, let me go back since we were talking accuracies. As you can see, I have put some accuracies into everything. I just haven't put in the dual origin ones. Okay, so here. So I'm gonna turn on Danger Run. Just feels like a rinse and repeat of the zone I was just in. So do you know which MMO he's working on? And I wouldn't be surprised, because here's the thing. When you work on, when you've done work on MMOs, you're sort of an expert in those areas, because not many work on MMOs. Oh yeah, and I think the reason he did that is Jack Emmert is now the CEO of Cryptic Studios again. So I think that's probably the reason why he went there. I know that there are some City Hero developers that are working on Star's Reach, which is my next big MMO I'm heavily gonna get into, because I'm already heavily liking it already, being in the pre-alpha. And in all honesty, Axel, I think it's a game you should look at, because you like No Man's Sky, you like City of Heroes. I think you'll like Star's Reach, especially if you loved playing Star Wars Galaxies. It's just a nice blend of them all. And the great thing is that Star's Reach isn't just being made by no ones. It's made by MMO veterans. It's the main person leading the development of the game and running the company is Raph Costner. He made Ultima Online. He made Star Wars Galaxies. You know, two really big MMOs at the early years of MMOs. You have EverQuest developers like Rodney, who's the producer. He worked on EverQuest. You have City of Heroes developers. You have EVE Online developers. You have Guild Wars 2 developers, all working on this. Well, here's the thing. Star's Reach is going to be a free-to-play MMO. And the great thing is I've had chats with Raph Costner about the game, and the way they're doing free to play, the way they're going to monetize it, is slightly on cosmetic looks, but more along the lines of they have these homesteads, which is sort of the housing system. They're going to make it so that people aren't just overpopulating the world with houses, because you can put houses anywhere in the world you want, whether it be in space as a space station, on a planet, or whatever. You can do that. And so in order to have a homestead, you need to pay a monthly fee to have homestead access. Because the whole entire idea behind the game is keeping a neutral balance of the planets, making sure that mineral resources don't run out, making sure that the trees don't get all carved up, making sure that the creatures don't all die out, and things like that. And it's basically, if all that sort of disappears, then the world is taken away and new one's brought up. And you can actually become a governor of a planet and manage it and say, okay, you can log over in this area but not in these areas. You can go and mine in this area but not in these areas. You can build houses and restaurants and stuff like that in this area. You can build industrial over in this area and stuff like that. So you can create zoning stuff. And it's really cool because the mining in that game has me hooked hard, because it's like the mining in No Man's Sky, but instead of all the resources being on the top and that's all you have to look for, you sometimes have to dig really, really deep into the ground to find them. And you have to do prospecting and search and scan for those resources that you're looking for and work up those skills and stuff like that. And it does a it's a skill-based MMO, sort of like original Star Wars Galaxies was, where you're not given classes, you work on certain skills, and then those certain skills determine sort of what you do. Such as if you choose, oh, okay, I'm going to make heal people, but I also want to have some combat experience. Well, you're now a combat medic. Or if you want to be sort of like a into engineering a doctor, you can be a cyberneticist, things like that. They're adding in journalism in there, where you can be a journalist and write news articles or papers in the game and stuff like that. And they're going to try. They said that they're going to try. They're not sure if they're going to be able to do it, but they're going to try to make it so you can connect your YouTube or Twitch in game. but they have to try to get the APIs to that and communicate with them and see if they can get the okay to do that kind of stuff. But it's just a really fun game. And the cool thing is the servers are unlike other servers. And the reason that it's unlike other servers is normally in MMOs, you have the server side that's handling all the mobs and stuff like that. Their server side is handling how the terrain is acting, because different materials of the terrain have different adhesion. If you dig into rock, it's gonna hold its form unless you dig out wide, then it will collapse. If you dig into dirt, it's slowly going to fall in on you. If you dig into sand, it's gonna quickly fall in on you, and stuff like that. Plus, the the dirt in the game has a pH value for farming. And then the other thing that I really like about Stars Reach is the fact that in every MMO, except for Star Wars Galaxies, you get your best gear from mobs. In Stars Reach, you get your best gear from crafters. And you get the resources from the mobs. You get the resources from going out and harvesting the metal. And the metal and the resources that you get have a stats to them. And then those stats, when you create the object that's a sub-object for what you're wanting to create and make. So like, let's say you're wanting to make a rifle. You're going to not just take those resources and make the rifle. You're going to take those resources, you're gonna make a barrel, you're gonna make a stock, you're gonna make a grip, you're gonna make the butt of the rifle and things like that. And then you're gonna take those components which have new stats on them based on the materials you use. It will create a new stat for that component, and then those components, when you combine them together to create the final version, will determine what the final stats of the weapon you have is. How quickly does it fire? How powerful are the shots? What's its durability? Because there is going to be durability in the game, so things will break down. You'll have to get them repaired or replaced and things like that, which will keep the crafters active. And that's going to keep you active, because you're going to constantly have to do things to get the resources to give to the crafter, or get the money to give to the crafters to make the new items or to repair your items. And I see that as a very fun, interesting loop. And the great thing is it does what MMOs are meant to do. It's meant for you to communicate with other players. That's predominantly what MMOs are about. If you want to play an MMO single player, you're better off just going and playing any other single player video game. MMOs are there for you to work and communicate with others, to create friendships, get to know people, things like that. I've gotten to know people all over the world because of MMOs. I've got to know people in Japan, in South Korea, in Germany, in Netherlands, in Africa, in South America, in Canada, and stuff like that. And I have not traveled far from home. The farthest I've gone from home is maybe a couple 100 miles. I've gone down to California to visit family and stuff like that. That's the farthest I've ever gone. Now, I do plan to go further than that, way further than that. I want to go to the Netherlands. I want to go to Japan. I want to visit these different countries and experience their cultures. I'm not going to go there as a tourist and hit the tourist spots. I want to hit the real areas that are showing of that country and that culture. In a way, yes, it is that kind of setup, but excuse me, but it's nice seeing it in an MMO. And they're bringing a lot of unique aspects, and some aspects that they were trying to work on from the days of Ultima Online. Because in the days of Ultima Online, they had it that if you took out all of the herbivore creatures, in an area, they would go extinct, and that would cause the carnivore creatures to then slowly die out and go extinct. Problem is they didn't have a system in place to be able to bring them back. And so that's where Stars Reach changes things up, where if you do that on a planet, that planet will go away because there's these makers that are sort of controlling what planets and areas we have access to, lore-wise, for the game. And then they determine that if we've misused the planet, they'll take the planet away and show us a new planet. And then there's going to be different space sectors you can go to with different planets to them. There's going to be wild wormholes that will open up that will take you to a planet that's not monitored by the makers. And those are great places to go and get resources, because you'll have different value resources constantly popping up with those different wild wormholes that are taking you to different planets. But the danger of the wild wormholes is that when the wild wormhole shuts down, you're kicked off that planet and you lose everything you'd gathered while on that planet. So that you have to leave before the wild wormhole shuts down. And that's that whole entire risk reward thing that I really, really like of that part. Got our health back. We need more endurance again. So that's the reason why I'm excited for Stars Reach. And that's the thing. There's a lot of MMOs coming out. There's Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. And that sort of harkens back to the days of EverQuest. And that's because, well, Brad McQuaid worked on that. There's Monsters and Memories, which is being made by original EverQuest developers. And that's to bring back the original EverQuest feel and stuff like that, with just sort of some updated modern gameplay mechanics. And that I have some interest in that one. There's some others that are coming out, but I want MMOs that do something different. I'd love to see some kind of like fighter MMO, something that's like Street Fighter or Tekken in MMO style, where you create your own fighter and you sort of roam the world and run into fights and go to tournaments and things like that. Would be very interesting to me. Oh, Civilization series is a very fun series to play. I like playing Civilization. I mean, there's very few styles of games that I don't like playing. The one series I don't play is Pokemon. I've never been big into the whole entire Pokemon thing, but that's personally me. I'm also not a big fan of JRPGs. I prefer Western style RPGs like Fallout, Wizardry, Elder Scrolls, those type of RPGs where you create your own character. Those are the RPGs I like. There you go. But yeah, I like playing like let's see, other games I've enjoyed. Carmageddon. I enjoy the Carmageddon series. I enjoy the Elder Scrolls series. I enjoy the Diablo series. I enjoy the Dawn War series. Gears of War. The other games I don't play much of is like Twitch shooters. Ones where you have to be very quick and reactive in shooting. I don't like those kind of shooters because I can't do it. My body won't allow me. My eye-hand coordination, because of the cerebral palsy and the stigmatism, won't allow me to play that style of game. If I get hit off, it's pure luck. I like tactical shooters, like Gears of War, where you use cover and you have to be strategical about it. It's not who's the quickest at shooting. I like I mean, yes, I can play them, and I have played them. I like PlanetSide 2 are two of my favorite first-person shooters, but that's massive war type MMO first-person shooters. And the reason why I like those is I don't play the normal frontline soldier. I play like the engineer or the medic. I'm either healing or repairing people, or if I'm shooting, I'm doing suppressive fire, keeping the enemy from poking out so that the other team members can go around and flank them and take them out type of situations. Or using stealth suits and sort of sneaking around and finding information and giving information to my team. Oh, I'm having so much endurance, I forgot to take off that. Another series that I really enjoy playing, I keep going back to, is what is it called? Lords of Magic. It's an old Sierra game done in the early mid 90s. That's a really fun one. Wow, perfect timing. And they both missed. There we go. Let's get our endurance back up. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the Arachnos archetypes is you're very limited on what you can do character customization wise. You have to look like an Arachnos soldier. You have to look like an Arachnos widow. And if they broke away from that and allowed us to, because of the going rogue, you could literally be an ex-Arachnos soldier or Arachnos widow and customize your costume, maybe have a few parts from that if you choose to, but allow you to sort of form your own character around that. I'd play them a bit more, because I do like the Arachnos widow powers along with the Arachnos soldier power. I think they're very cool and unique and interesting. Well, yes, they do have their set forms, but when you're not in those set forms, you have an actual costume you can use. And that's where the difference is there. With the Arachnos soldiers and the widows, you're literally stuck with the Arachnos uniforms. You have no choice outside of those. So you're very, very limited on what you can choose for the look of your character. Whereas the Kaladins, they let you create your superhero and make them look however they want, whether you want to be in armor, you want to be in tights, you want blue skin, pink skin, whatever, you can do that. And then when you shift forms, then you're given that form. And there's benefits to all three forms. Because you have that squid form, which is great for blasting and dealing out ranged damage. And then you have that big hulking tank form that's great for taking a beating and doing melee. And then you have your regular hero form, which gives you a mix of the both, but a bunch of toggleable buffs. Got him. Yeah, hook shot. That glow down. No, that's just the fire. I don't think the AI knows what to do with this because I'm a guardian. There we go. Yep, it was nice and cinematic. ninja run. I can jump here. Here. Oh, okay. Okay, so I do need to go through that door. Misleading. Wrong waypoint set. Click on this door instead. There we go. This is what I want. Oh, okay. Longbow officer has spine burst going off. Happened. Ah, just in time. I mean, I'll let my endurance catch back up on me. Now, the question I have for you, Axel, is since you play City of Heroes, I forgot, what server do you like playing City of Heroes on? Get me over there. There we go. Okay, so you play on a homecoming server. What of the new power sets that they have, which one of the new power sets do you like on the homecoming server? Because I know that they've added in like Sonic Melee, Arsenal control for controllers and dominators. They've added in Wind Blast, Seismic Blast, and things like that. Me personally, I'm torn between Seismic Blast and Wind Blast. Well, time manipulation was actually in the live game near the end. So that's not something that was added by Homecoming. It's the Arsenal control, the Sonic Melee, the Pyrotechnic control, the Seismic Blast, and the Wind Blast. that are all new and unique to Homecoming. And you really should check them out because some of them have some really cool things. Like Wind Blast is great for AoE. Seismic Blast has a really cool gameplay mechanic of being grounded and the combos that you can use between the powers to have different attack types and stuff like that. Pyrokinetic control is just graphically beautiful. You sort of feel like Jubilee, but with some oomph to it. Arsenal control, you're making a military guy with weapons and stuff like that, fits perfectly. Sonic Melee is sort of like the least of my favorites because it doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, I made a Wind Blast Storm Control Defender or Storm Summoning Defender. That doesn't fit right for my character. That did. Okay, good. Now I can... I could rest it. Well, I do have... This I can do. I did not say you could get back up. Definitely don't want you healing. Stay down. Okay, we need to get our endurance back. That took a lot of endurance. Yeah, storm summoning is a very powerful ability because you have the hurricane, you have the which keeps enemies knocked away from you. You have the tornado that you could summon up. You have the snowstorm you could do. You could do ice rain and all that kind of stuff. The fog to give you a bit of stealth. It's storm summoning is just so diverse. It's amazing. And then you add Storm Blast on top of that where you're causing rain to happen and thunderstorms and lightning to shoot down and stuff like that. I especially love the sniper ability on Storm Blast because you literally reach your hand up, start charging up lightning, yank your hand down for an animation, and this lightning bolt strikes straight from the top of the skies down at your enemy and hits them hard. I love that. The whole entire effect, just, you want to talk about feeling powerful. That there makes me feel so powerful. No, you don't. Not a chance I want you to use that sledgehammer on me. They're taken out. That way, let me guess, they're both blocked off. I bet you anything they are. Stuck on a bit of geometry. Yep, they are. Now, here's another question for you. What is your favorite thing about City of Heroes? What is the main thing about City of Heroes that keeps bringing you back? I'll tell you what mine is. Mine's a twofold situation. Character customization, number one. The other thing is the randomly generated dungeon. I don't feel like I'm playing the same thing over and over again because of that. The main story, yes, has that repetitive feel, but you play the other non-main story missions, and it feels like a different game every time. No, wait. If that's a gold. You guys forced me into this. Those hits in while I can. Ah, got him just as he is starting to heal. That was a lucky move. Okay, yeah, comic book. I agree with you there on being a comic book reader. And Marvel, I'm a big Marvel comic book reader. It's my favorite, not just because it's the big ones, but it's the fact that they're placing it sort of in somewhat realism of there's a New York and stuff like that. They're not saying, oh, Star City, Metropolis, and or Gotham City, things like that. They're actually taking real cities and things like that. And then the whole entire thing about it's not a fantasy MMO, they've been done to death. Yes, fantasy MMOs have been done to death, and the reason it's been done to death is because, well, the first MMOs done were fantasy MMOs. It was a proven thing to work, and big companies do not like. They are risk adverse. They do not want to take risks. They want to do what's been proven. And so, because fantasies were proven to work, they stuck with fantasies. Only a few of them went the direction of let's try something new. You know, and that's where you got things like Anarchy Online. They proved that sci-fi MMOs can work just as good. You have Star Wars Galaxies, but Star Wars Galaxies, they had the franchise to bet on. That makes it a lot easier when you have a big player base that you can go from and carry over. It's just the reason why, Final Fantasy. The reason that does so well is because they have the Final Fantasy fans that they can pull in. To manage my endurance here. That was a waste of endurance. There we go. Got him. In this way. The only way we do need to go is down. I'll wait here for a moment, get my endurance back. By the way, I am looking at making some changes to my stream overlays, such as the top banner that you see up here. This top banner I'm going to be changing at some point in time. The text, the way it shows up on screen here, I am going to be changing that up and getting some custom ones that sort of fit to the theme of the channel. Right now I have some other stuff that I'm working more YouTube video side wise, but there are some things that I'm going to be bringing over and stuff like that that I am in the works of doing. Head down here. There. Excellent, he popped into view for me. I like it when they do that. Makes my job so much easier. This. Change my endurance again. No. Down you go. Now we gotta wait for endurance. Hey David, how's it going? Oh yeah, here's the thing. Tankers and scrappers and meleers would always complain about energy blast. energy blast, everything that all had knockback. And that's the one thing that I like that Thunder Spy did, is they put an ability in that you could turn knockbacks into knockdowns. And it's a free ability to everyone. I thought that was a smart move, because then a blaster or a storm summoning or storm controllers could toggle that power on, and instead of knocking away the enemies, you're just knocking them down. And so that's a power that's putting into consideration the other players around you. Now, whether the energy blasters or the storm controllers would use it is up to them. If they don't use it and they're in a team, honestly, they're being selfish, they're trolling, and being a jerk. Oh, cool. How was the walk by the river? No, you don't get to get back up. And stay down. Let's get our endurance back. Oh, that's cool. Oh, Maple Fest. That'd be an interesting event to go to. I like maple. Maple syrup. Just, the taste of maple is just nice. He wanted to heal. He just didn't have the timing for it. And endurance time. Yeah, in all honesty, if my dream, I know I was talking about, you know, wanting to make a company, a video game company, and make it a big one where I can bring people on. If I ever do get it to there, I have two dream games I want to make. Both of them are MMOs. I'd like to make a fighter MMO, sort of like in the veins of Street Fighter or Tekken, where you create your own character. You choose what fighting style you do, what type of attacks you have, stuff like that, and sort of roam around the world fighting things like that and going to tournaments and things like that. Another idea I have that's MMO based is, I don't know if any of you remember Auto Assault, but it was a ground vehicle car combat MMO set in the future. I like to do something in the vein of that, make it a bit different. Well, here's the thing. American kids are also raised on maple syrup and pancakes. We use maple syrup on our pancakes, on our French toast, on our eggs. Yeah. And honestly, I prefer my maple syrup to come from Canada. Just like if I want pizza, I prefer Italian style pizza. I want to do this mission setup again, but I want to do it with a power set that's not custom made, so that they're actually attacking back instead of constantly running for me. I want to see what the combat would be like. Because I think the reason the system's having a problem with it is because I'm playing a Hellfire power set, which wasn't in the original part of the game. So I don't think the AI knows what to do with it, because it's not in its set of rules of how to use it. So, like an Italian pizza is like they call it a what is it, a marinara, or what's, not much of a drinker. I know it's named after like a martini, I think is what it's called, pizza. And basically all it is it's fire stove or fire oven, or a wood fire-based oven that's cooking on stone, and they have the marinara sauce, and then they put like some mozzarella cheese, fresh mozzarella cheese, which is the best to use, on there, and then they put some different herbs on it and stuff like that. Margarita pizza. Thank you very much, David. Yes. Yes, margarita pizza. The only time I really drink, and even then it's barely, is, you know, during the holidays. Now I might have like one drink. I don't drink much at all. In fact, I don't think I've had any alcohol in the last 10 years. Oh shit, no. Yes, I was. When I saw that purple, that there were two of them, yes, the chicken in me came out. I'm not going to disagree with that. Yes, I'm going to run. Take a look at my shorts. I have a City of Heroes shorts where I got taken out by a purple boss. And then I tried to res myself. That's where the whole entire theme of It's a Purple Skull Run t-shirt came from. I am not of the right class to be able to deal with purples. I'm not enhancements wise, I don't think I'm set up correctly. I see how it is, David. Axel's more important than me. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I like it when you guys interact with one another. This here this here that's really gonna help out the endurance issues we've been having. True, but that's even more of a coward's way of taking things out, because then you're taking them off the playfield for anyone else. Oh yeah, I remember those. Well, heck, I'm used to that because my first MMO was EverQuest. And EverQuest in the East Commons, they have this high-level griffin that flies around this like low-level area that's meant for like level 10s, flying around. This griffin's like level 30 or 40, just attacking people. And it's meant for the higher levels to come into low-level zones and take it out every so often. And I think it had a really good drop on it too. So I'm used to that kind of same thing. It's the same with South Row. You'd be out in South Row hunting the giants there, and this one named giant would come in and just waylay the whole entire area every so often, and you knew when it was in there because zone chat would be full of him talking and stuff like that. The one thing that scared players the worst was in the plane of fear. The fear god there would call someone name out, and whatever player that called the name out, it would teleport that player to the god of fear, and then the god of fear would just hit him and dead. And so you knew you were in trouble if your name got called out. You knew there was nothing you could do. And in EverQuest, original EverQuest, not the current day EverQuest, but original EverQuest, you had to excuse me, you had to do corpse runs. So you had to go back and get your body to get your good gear. And that was always a challenge. The only way it was made easy is if you had someone there to res you, or you had someone to summon your corpse to a safe spot or the edge of the zone. And sometimes there were no safe spots, like Lower Guck. The whole entire phrase, train to zone, is because of Lower Guck. That was said constantly in Lower Guck. The moment you heard that, you knew you needed to zone, otherwise you were dead. So it's close enough to the 4 o'clock time, and I got some videos I need to edit, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream just a few minutes early because I don't think there's enough time to get this mission done. But I want to thank you guys all for watching the stream. And if you haven't checked out today's City of Heroes video, you need to go check it out. It's all about what your primary archetype you like to play says about you. And it's all in fun. But watch that and have a great day. Night all.